Oh yeah, just in case, John. Just in case.
Talking you.
I'd say so. Just like what had happened, but.
The final between Ballinrobe and Shrule. I'd like to welcome everybody to Garrymore. I'm glad to see that you all got here to our out-of-the-way pitch, and I hope our facilities are up to the standards that you've become accustomed to. I will announce both teams. I believe they are playing as selected. So starting with Ballinrobe, in goal is Paul Tiernan. Right full back Donald Costello, full back Paul Finnerty, and left full back is Colin Jennings. Right half back, Colin Killian, centre half back, Fergal Costello, and Jim Stanton is at left half back. Sean Grimes is at number 8 at midfield, partnered by David McMonigal. Peter Stanton is at number 10, Adrian Clark.
Been the talk of South Mayo at the very least for the past couple of weeks. Ballinrobe and Shrule meeting in a county intermediate final for the very, very first time. The bookmakers, well, they're evenly split. They make Ballinrobe and Shrule the joint favourites at even money. Patsy Welch of PW Racing unable to split them. He thinks this match might even be a draw. 7-1, the draw is on offer at, and really the experts are split. We'll give you a check on the teams in just a moment. I see the referee Mel Kenny calling in the captains, David McMonigal from Ballinrobe and Kieran Welsh from Shrule to have a quick word to toss the coin. Billy Fitzpatrick, the second big county final of the summer is about to get underway. It's a beautiful day for football. A few dark clouds, little or no breeze. The sod has dried up, and if the experts are to be believed, then we will be here right till this one goes to the wire.
Yeah, I'd say so. It could be a bit like Crossmalina and Knockmore last Sunday. Certainly they were the local derby in North Mayo, and if you look for two teams in South Mayo, who better than Ballinrobe, Shrule to provide the entertainment here today. And the crowd and the atmosphere is going to be great. Garrymore, Linz, that kind of an atmosphere is close. Everybody is close to the play, and the stand is close, and we're very close to everybody around here as well. So it's going to be a great occasion for both teams, a great occasion for Shrule. This is their first intermediate final. Ballinrobe have been there before, so it's experience against a lot of youth and exciting footballers from Shrule.
Well, as Billy said, if we were any closer to the field here in Garrymore, we'd be out there, and I hope a ball doesn't come dropped too near Billy Fitz. He just might get in there and pull on it first time, like the old days. But just to give you a check on the teams then before we get underway, beginning with Shrule in goal, it's Derek Walsh. The full back line, Ronan Walsh, Pat Hyland and Dermot Geraghty. The half back line, David Walsh, Kenneth Mortimer and Liam Garvey. In midfield, it's John Morley and Trevor Mortimer. The half forward line, Kieran Welch, the captain, Darren Murphy and James Martin. And the full forward line, Owen Ronaldson, Matthew Murphy and Conor Mortimer. Ballinrobe in goal, Paul Tiernan. The full back line, Donald Costello, Paul Finnerty and Colin Jennings. The half back line, Colin Killeen, Fergal Costello and Jim Staunton. And midfield is Sean Grimes and David McMonigal, the captain. The half forward line, Peter Staunton, Adrian Flannery and Rory Kane. And the full forward line, Tony Walkin, Micheal Keane and Morris Horn. Well, 9 miles of green fields, stone walls and open roads separates Ballinrobe and Shrule. There in the middle of the village, there's a sign that says God Smile on Shrule. They're looking for a little bit of divine intervention this afternoon. If you haven't made the journey to Garrymore this afternoon because of illness, maybe superstition, maybe the nerves, or maybe you just didn't bother, well then you're welcome to stay with us for the next hour or a little bit more. I know Orla and Brian are tuned in on the internet. The people in Clonacastle send their best wishes to them. I know there are 2 gentlemen online in Dubai and in southwest London respectively as well. Both died in the wool Ballinrobe supporters. They've gone online to Midwest Radio Sport for the afternoon. And also a quick hello to Tom Burke, who's welcomed home, and also to Jimmy McHugh, who's listening in Castlebar Hospital this afternoon as we pause for the national anthem. atmosphere with the knife here this afternoon. Everybody's packed in, nice and tight. Mel Kenny, the referee from Westport, has the ball just down in front of him. Trevor Mortimer and John Morley sizing up against Sean Grimes and David McMonigal. The ball is in, and the County Intermediate Football Final for 2002 is underway, and straight away it's Ballinrobe who has some defending to do. Fergal Costello, Paul Finnerty, and he goes long down the far side of the field looking for Tony Walkin, tangling with Pat Hyland. Ball runs free, and in there to scoop it and win it back is Hyland once more. Now Trevor Mortimer breaks the first tackle and drives it in low, looking for Owen Ronaldson. Now Conor Mortimer onto that ball in a flash, tries to go by Donald Costello. Down goes Conor Mortimer. Free, says Mel Kenny. Conor Mortimer was fouled not once but twice, I think. And Mel Kenny from Westport right up at the play, very decisive. The outstretched arm free in to Shrule from right in front of the goal. And Conor Mortimer, the man with the champagne-coloured boots, will endeavour to kick Shrule in front after just 45 seconds. It's dead straight in front of the uprights, and Conor Mortimer chips it up and over the bar. It's taken him less than a minute to open his account. He scores from a free. He brings his tally in the championship to 3 goals and 25 points. And Conor could do that all day, Billy.
Yes, indeed. It's the supply line we've been talking about all week, I suppose. Trevor Mortimer into Conor Mortimer, and that'll be happening all day. And if the Ballinrobe defence don't cut it out, they'll be in severe trouble, because any time he gets the ball in his hands, it's going to be a score.
So Conor Mortimer, the artist, goes to work after 45 seconds, and Shrule lead by a point to no score. Paul Tiernan kicks the 21-yard line out to the middle of the field. Break falls towards Adrian Flannery. Down bravely, scoops it up. Mel Kenny is in to separate them. He'll hop the ball. We'll settle it the old-fashioned way. He's standing on the halfway line, and Dave McMonigal and John Morley, two of the most experienced men on the field, they rise together. McMonigal knocks it down towards Adrian Flannery into snap, and when the break was Kieran Welch. Somebody was fouling. It's all very congested, free to Ballinrobe. McMonigal takes it first time in towards the corner, but Ronan Welch standing firm. Man outside, Kenny Mortimer. Mortimer checks inside low. Hand pass rolls towards Darren Murphy. Murphy had his jersey tugged by Sean Grimes. Free to Shrule. They've started at breakneck speed. Darren Murphy to Kenny Mortimer to Trevor. It's all Shrule. Trevor Mortimer, long left-footed, in over the top. He finds Conor Mortimer. Mortimer kicks from way out the country. Beautiful, beautiful score from Conor Mortimer. The pass from Trevor was imperfect. Conor Mortimer racing up along the left wing. Took one look at the goalpost, hops it over on the run. Shrule are off to a flyer. So too is Conor Mortimer. It's 2 points to no score after 2 minutes.
Magnificent point there. Started with Kinney in the half-back line, give it to Trevor. And what a pass with the left foot. We don't normally see him kick him left foot, but he found him 60 yards away, put the ball in his lap, ball over the bar.
You can take it that Conor Mortimer has brought his game with him this afternoon. Shrule lead by 2 points to no score as the sun breaks through the clouds. Beautiful sunshine. Again, the midfield is congested, and Shrule win the break. Jesse Martin, John Morley, Darren Murphy. They play the game at such speed. Murphy low to Owen Ronaldson out in front of Colin Jennings. He scooped that ball off the ground. Did Owen Ronaldson, free to Ballinrobe. Owen has got his wires crossed, I think. He thought it was a free to Shrule Glencorrib, but Mel Kenny is explaining that it wasn't, and a chance after 3 minutes for Ballinrobe to get a little breather. Their full back line has been under a little bit of pressure. I see outside the 50, bar Conor Mortimer, so he and Paul Finnerty are left in alone in front of the goal. Fergal Costello takes the free out to the far side. Adrian Flannery slides in to win it, keeps it in play, only just. He's in front of the Ballinrobe dugout over there. He's trying to slalom his way through. He's been fouled. Takes the free into Micheal Keane out in front of Ronan Welch. Keane into space. He'll kick under pressure, high and right footed. It's gone across the face of the goal. It's gone out to the right and wide. First chance for Micheal Keane, Ballinrobe's second top scorer in the championship with 3 goals and 9 points. First chance for him to get away from his marker. Interestingly enough, the markups seem to have paired Ronan Walsh with Maurice Horan. Dermot Geraghty is picking up Micheal Keane, and I suppose, Billy, nobody too surprised at that.
Yeah, well, that was on the cards. I suppose that both of those fellas doing a marking job, both on Keane and Maurice Horan. They're the danger men of the Ballinrobe attack, and they'll need to be watched.
So Derek Welch kicking from the edge of the small square, wearing a baseball cap for the first half. The sun blazing down into his eyes. His kick towards the far side of the field was looking for John Morley. Somebody was pushing free to Ballinrobe on the 50-yard line, the Shrule Glencorrib at 50-yard line. Sean Grimes standing and waiting, the man who won a Sigerson Cup medal back in the depths of winter with IT Sligo, now playing in the sunshine in Gary Moore. Long in towards Maurice Horan, might fall for Peter Stanton, and the goalkeeper had to be smart, came from his line quickly, scoops it up from the edge of the small square, and Shrule can move the ball clear. Pat Hyland down to Jesse Martin. Martin low, left-footed, looking for Matthew Murphy, and Matthew Murphy has driven that ball well out over the sideline. It's gone out in towards the car park, in fact, and a second Lee Roach has been found for a line ball to Ballinrobe. Standing, waiting to take it is Sean Grimes. He's out here on the right wing, 50 yards from the Shrule goal. He'll drive it in towards the danger area once more, drifting across towards Rory Keane. Micheal might just get it. Micheal Keane trying to get away from the tackle. Kenny Mortimer is there, snapping at his heels. So to Ronan Welch, and Welch is standing, wins that ball, finds Dermot Geraghty. He hops off Micheal Keane, Geraghty to Pat Hyland. Hyland to Jesse Martin, and Shrule and Corrup have dropped back behind the ball to clear their lines. Matthew Murphy wearing 14, but he's inside his own half. Shrule and Corrup just drifting to where the ball is. Now John Morley, Kenneth Mortimer, and Mortimer short to Darren Murphy. They look like they've been doing this all their lives, Shrule and Corrup, and most of them have, I suppose. The ball is picked off the carpet by David Welch. Shrule and Corrup, I think, might have taken just one hand pass too many, and for some descent, that ball is moved forward 10 or 15 yards. Free to Ballinrobe. Adrian Flannery low in towards Morris Horan. Out in front, Horan has it. The angle is tight. Horan kicks high. That's a wonderful score from Morris Horan. Out in front of Ronan Welch. Took it into the red basket. Turned and pointed on the run. It's 2 points to 1 after almost 6 minutes of the first half. And Horan brings his tally in the championship to 3 goals and 34 points. He's a handful, Billy.
He is indeed, and we were expecting this shootout between Conor Mortimer and Morris Horan, and it's certainly developing into that. But very fast thinking there by Sean Grimes. Had the ball in the hands, seen Horan breaking from his man, gave it to him first time and over the bar. Football.
So Morris Horan is off the mark. The play has been stopped for a moment as a Shrule and Corrup player adjusts his footwear over there on the far side of the field. Shrule and Corrup have played 4 games in this year's intermediate championship. Ballinrobe have played 7. They took the slightly more scenic route through the back door. They've beaten Ballyhaunis, Bracey, Tourmakeedy, Park, Keeloaks, Crimlin and Claremorris en route to today's final. They also drew with Ballyhaunis and lost to Belmullet. So it's been an eventful summer for Ballinrobe. Shrule took by far the more straightforward route, beat Kilmaine in the first round, also beat Killala, Belmullet and Castlemar Mitchells. And that Killala match, well, that one will live long in the memory in Shrule and Corrup. Certainly they beat Killala that day by 5 goals and 16 points to Killala's solitary point, one that Killala, I'm sure, will want to forget about it, so we will not mention it anymore. But a kick now to come from Derek Welch, the Shrule and Corrup goalkeeper, from the 21-yard line, and Trevor Mortimer had all the time in the world to rise and win that ball. Nobody near him. Trevor makes 5 or 6 yards and looks up to spot a runner right down the throat of Fergal Costello. He's got those brittle hamstrings nice and tightly bandaged. Costello to Colin Jennings, he to Adrian Flannery, and back to Fergal Costello once more. He's in a tight corner, he's bottled up, he's shut down, he's been fouled. Free to Ballinrobe, and Fergal Costello, the army officer, the centre half back, he will take it. He's standing just inside his own half of the field, down long in towards Micheal Keane, broken away, but Shrule again are there in numbers, a swarm of maroon jerseys. Ronan Welch, Jesse Martin, and now Dermot Geraghty, a very stylish corner back. Solos once back to Welch, Welch to Jesse Martin to Dermot Geraghty, and slowly, very slowly but surely, Shrule clear their lines. Geraghty coming up along the line, hit wide, Roland Costello, hard but fair. Grimes hits Geraghty, hard but fair, and eventually Mel Kenny blows his whistle. Free to Ballinrobe. Life and limb was being risked there, just here in front of the stand. Sean Grimes, Donald Costello, Dermot Geraghty, Jesse Martin, they were all in there, bouncing off one another. Free to Ballinrobe. Sean Grimes down into the corner, looking for Micheal Keane, knocks it down to himself. 2 Shrule men standing in his path. Now back to Peter Staunton. Staunton drops the shoulder. He's inside the tackle. Mel Kenny has blown his whistle. The kick from Staunton, which dropped over the bar, won't count. It's going to be a free in, and I think Ballinrobe, well, they'll be pleased to have got the free. They'll be unhappy that the point doesn't stand, and now Peter Staunton has this kick from the right corner to try and edge Ballinrobe level. So after that lightning start from Shrule, 9 minutes gone in the first half, and Ballinrobe have a chance to draw level. 14 yards out, kicking from the right corner. Staunton's kick is gone high, it's gone out to the right and wide. They would have taken the score from play, Billy.
Certainly would have taken the score from play, and they should be pointing those kind of frees. They need to be pointing those kind of frees to stay in the game. But you'd have to say that the Shrule defence are overplaying the ball coming out. They're walking themselves into all kinds of trouble when they should be delivering faster. The last 3 attacks, Ballinrobe have won the ball back off them before they hit the 50-yard line. Maybe they should be delivering that a little bit faster.
So Derek Welch to take the kick out. He's 12 to 1 to get a score today. One of the novelty bets from PW Racing. And Derek Welch at this moment in time is more concerned with clearing his lines. His kick towards the middle of the field has gone out over the sideline eventually. It got last touch to Shrule man, I think, and the play will now be stopped. One of the Ballinrobe players, it's Peter Staunton, in fact, has injured himself in that last aerial battle. He's picked himself up again though. Looking a little bit the worse for wear, but he'll be all right to continue. Sinead Keane, the Ballinrobe physio, is not called into action, and Ballinrobe have a line ball. Sean Grimes kicks it left-footed in towards Micheal Keane, but much too high in the air, and Trevor Mortimer, who's back in his own defence, tries to clear his line. Well blocked by Peter Staunton. Back to Mortimer, and this time he uses the right foot and drives it down the field. Paul Finnerty out in front of Conor Mortimer, took that ball on one knee. Finnerty wins the free, and Ballinrobe have a chance to clear their line. Shrule Glencarb looking for Conor Mortimer every opportunity. He's already kicked 2 points, one from a free, one from play. Fergal Costello takes the resultant free down the line, again looking for Maurice Horan. Ronan Welch standing literally toe to toe, holding Horan off. The ball has gone out over the line. Another line ball to Shrule Glencarb, taken short inside to Pat Hyland. The fullback drives it long again, right down the middle. Fergal Costello sails into the clouds to win that ball. A great take. Now Jim Staunton long in towards Micheal Keane, but much too high once more. And Dermot Gertie is there to win it. Dermot Gertie to Trevor Mortimer. Trevor goes short. The hand pass to Darren Murphy. Murphy has a man on the overlap. It's Kieran Welch. Welch, it's a Gary Owen. It's high. It's going to drop in towards the 50. Players jumping up very acrobatically. One of them was Conor Mortimer, but the ball was touched on the ground by Jesse Martin. Another free to Ballinrobe. The game is a little bit scrappy. A lot of frees, a lot of broken play, and at the moment it's bogged down in the middle third. And Tony Walken, the third midfielder, wins that ball, treads a little pass low across to the far side to Micheal Keane. They're in front of Dermot Gertie. Still Micheal Keane trying to twist away from the tackle. Kicks it high. It's a real skyscraper. In towards Maurice Horan. Takes it out of the clouds. Good take. Man in the centre is Sean Grimes. Flannery has it. Adrian Flannery trying to get his kick in. He has his pocket picked by Ronan Welch. That was brilliant defending. And now Kenny Mortimer loses it. It runs free and leaves Garvey. Well, he picks it off the ground inexplicably. Shrule Glencarb looked to have that situation well under control. They had survived the attack from Adrian Flannery. They looked set to clear their lines. They've scooped it off the carpet, and really a free that could have been avoided, Billy.
Yes, indeed, off the ground free. It shouldn't be, it should be getting down, picking that ball. That's great work done, because Adrian Flannery was really hitting in for goal there. Looked like there was a goal chance on for a few seconds, but the Shrule defence, they just went back in numbers, crowded it out, but the simple thing of picking the ball off the ground and getting it away let them down.
So 12 minutes gone in the first half, and a chance for Maurice Horan to kick Ballinrobe level. He's on the 14-yard line. He's out on the left wing. It's an ideal angle for a right-footed kicker. These ones in training, I'm sure, are simple. This is the county final. Horan, as the ground falls silent, approaches, kicks. It's gone up. It's gone over the bar. The sides are level after 12 and a half minutes. 2 points for Conor Mortimer. Horan. It's all square, I can tell you. In the ladies football challenge game, Mayo have beaten the All-Stars. It's ended Mayo 5 goals and 9 points. The All-Stars 3 goals and 12 points. So the Mayo ladies continuing their recent good form. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, it's the Carraboyle Mayo Intermediate Football Championship final in front of a huge crowd here in Garrymore in the beautiful sunshine. 2 points apiece. It couldn't be set up much better, as Derek Welch's kick is won by the team captain Kieran Welch. Over there on the far side, Liam Garvey, and now John Morley. He jumps over the outstretched legs of Adrian Flannery, then runs into the tackle of Dave McMonigal. He beat one, not the other, free to Shrule Glencarb, and John Morley picks himself up and leaves the football to Darren Murphy, the centre half forward, a block layer by trade. He's the centre forward this afternoon. He's waiting. He's waited too long, and as any of us who have seen Mel Kenny in action down the years will know, Mel is not a man to stand around and wait. Darren Murphy took too much out of that free. He waited that little fraction of a second too long. Hot ball in the middle of the field, and Dave McMonigan and Trevor Mortimer, they'll rise together. Trevor leaning in, does well though, wins that ball, so strong, holding off Sean Grimes, wins the free. He's looking for Conor. Huge ball in over the top. Conor got a flick to it, but Paul Tiernan, alive to the danger, comes racing out from his line. The hand pass was poor though. The hand pass came from, I think it was one of the corner backs. It's very loose. Shrule of the ball back. John Morley. Now Trevor Mortimer. Trevor Mortimer trying to get through, but he's shut out by Dave McMonigal, running into a blind alley almost. Now gets his pass down the line, and Darren Murphy is there. Donald Costello with him, stride for stride. Still Darren Murphy. Man peeling away is Kieran Welch. Murphy's in a bit of a knot over there, turning and twisting in the middle of the field. John Morley has his hand up. Still Darren Murphy. It's skipped by Donald Costello eventually. Still Murphy. He'll kick under pressure. It's gone across the face of the goal. It's gone out to the left and wide. Darren Murphy seemed to have a monopoly on possession over there on the far side. He was jinking, weaving, trying to dodge his way through. Eventually got his kick in, but it was all very laboured. It's gone out to the left and wide. Still 2 points apiece. And that Shrule Glencarb attack, Billy, which has been so free-flowing in recent months, they just haven't fired just yet.
No, they haven't fired just yet, and they're playing a lot of short passing game, which I don't think is paying off for them so far. It may pay off later on in the game, but they're looking for somebody all the time. The short passes are going all the time. There isn't very much direct play from Shrule and Corrup, where on the other hand Ballinrobe are playing more direct football.
I think as well, Billy, it's fair to say that anytime Trevor Mortimer gets that ball in space, he only has one man on his mind, and that's Connor.
Yeah, that option is there. That's the one option that Shrule have all the time. He's trying to find Connor. Now, if that dries up and that doesn't happen, then they'll run into trouble. They need to be able to spray the ball around a little bit faster. They're giving an awful lot on the passes. They're giving an awful lot of passes when they're in possession. Maybe they should be moving the ball a little bit faster with the boot.
It's a meeting this afternoon, very much of youth and experience. The youthful Shrule and Corrup team appearing in their first ever county intermediate final as Shrule and Corrup. Shrule did contest two county intermediate finals back in the late 80s, lost both of them in 88 and 89. Ballinrobe, two-time champions. Now Shrule and Corrup have the football. Owen Ronaldson soloing with the left foot. Trevor Mortimer, he has taken his eye off the ball though, and Sean Grimes stands his ground, wins it downwards. Micheal Keane, their neighbours, Keane putting right to the centre. He has the legs of Dermot Gerley. In towards Rory Keane. Rory Keane falls over. Steve Garvey did very well. Garvey, a pacey, stylish wing back, there to cover, wins the free and takes it quickly down the line towards Jesse Mann. Into the centre of Kenny Mortimer. The pass is far too loose. Tony Walken, he played minor with Mortimer. Now Rory Keane, Adrian Flannery. And Ballinrobe in front for the very first time. Thanks to the trusty left boot of Adrian Flannery, the centre forward. Over elaboration in that Shrule and Corrup defence. One loose pass too many. Tony Walken in like a flash. Fed it to Adrian Flannery, and Flannery's finish clips the crossbar and goes up and over. 3 points to Ballinrobe, 2 to Shrule and Corrup. We've played 16 and a half minutes.
It has cost them 2 out of the last 3 out of the 3 points for Ballinrobe. That's messing around the defence. The game is too short in there. They're not just getting the ball away, and they're paying the price.
So 3-2, Ballinrobe in front. We've just passed the end of the first quarter mark. It's tight. It's a war of attrition. Any mistake being seized upon. And Sean Grimes, speaking of mistakes, has just screwed that line ball out over the line, maybe 30 yards up the field. He's shaking his head. He's disappointed, trying to find Maurice Horan. Just didn't strike it. Have the free. Ronan Welch is standing and waiting to take it. He's been awarded a few extra yards, I think. The linesman on this near side, Vinnie Neary from Bonnyconlon, waving him up the field. Now Ronan Welch short into the centre. Trevor Mortimer, David Welch again. He was looking for the short pass. It's so laboured, it's so predictable, and Trevor Mortimer's in big trouble here. He's bottled up by 3 Ballinrobe men. Back to Welch, hit hard by Peter Stanton. He's bottled up. He's been awarded a free. Ballinrobe there in numbers yet again, and at this stage, Billy, it's so predictable. They're not using that long ball. They're looking for the short pass each and every time.
Yeah, I think the Shrule team will just have to realise that this isn't paying off in their half-back line, that they'll have to get rid of it long. They're not inclined to get rid of it long. Maybe it's part of their game plan which they can't get out of, but they need to get out of it fast because Ballinrobe are putting them under all kinds of pressure across the 50-yard line there, and they're winning most of that ball back.
Ballinrobe certainly working very hard. I can see beads of sweat breaking through a lot of foreheads out there. They're working hard, and we're still a long way from home. Line ball to Shrule and Corrup. Trevor Mortimer given away though. Sean Grimes again there to win it. Into the centre to Adrian Flannery and Fergal Costello, the flying wing back. Literally comes at speed, takes it, gives it to McMonigal. Now Grimes once more. This is a wonderful move. Down goes Sean Grimes. Fouled by Trevor Mortimer, says Mel Kenny. And Sean Grimes is really taking this game by the scruff of the neck. Back in his own half, breaking on somebody's shoulder, and that time it was his run which drew the foul, and Maurice Horan has come out to have a look at the goalposts. Horan, now 27 years of age, former county minor and under 21, and the man who has kicked the scores that has got Ballinrobe to this stage of the championship. Unquestionably their scorer-in-chief, 3 goals and 35 points. That's his tally from 7 games and a little bit as he sizes up to this free. He's 25 yards out. Dead straight in front of the goal. Derek Welch is back on the line, all on his own, and Horan's free, drops up and over. It's double scores in Gary Moore. Ballinrobe 4 points, Shrule and Corrup 2 points, and Tommy O'Malley and Martin Welch will be happy enough over there, Billy.
Yeah, certainly will. And you know, if you watch the play there now, between the 2 50-yard lines, Shrule are giving the ball away. They're giving the ball back to Ballinrobe all the time, and Ballinrobe are making use of it. Sean Grimes has really come into the game. He's doing the sensible things well. He's moving that ball fast, winning possession, moving it fast into his forward line. Ballinrobe playing sensible football. qualifications.
It's a day for hard work and rolling up the sleeves as Liam Garvey goes short to win that kick-out. Now Kenny Mortimer, the two-time All-Star, the Shrule Glencorrib centre half back, short again to Kieran Welch, roaring to his inside line to make a run. Welch's delivery is won by Paul Finnerty. He was out in front of Matthew Murphy. He's won the free. Mel Kenny has blown up the play, and Ballinrobe have another chance to clear their line. Finnerty will take it short to Sean Grimes. They've played club under 21 and county under 21 together as Grimes delivers it in towards Morris Horn, flicks it up into the air, might fall for Micheal Keane. Peter Staunton comes racing across to win the break, hit by Ronan Welch. Now Staunton to Adrian Flannery. Flannery short up the line looking for Morris Horn. The angle of the pass was poor and Dermot Geraghty there to win it back. Dermot Geraghty quickly to Kieran Welch, the team captain, long diagonal looking for Conor Mortimer. Cullen Killeen was there first. Killeen to Paul Finnerty. Finnerty's pass to Costello is perfect, and Fergal Costello to Sean Grimes. Ballinrobe beginning to motor. Sean Grimes to Micheal Keane. This is much better. 14 yards out. 1-on-1. Keane drops the shoulder. He's through. He's gone down. It's a free in. Micheal Keane is like free slicing when he gets on the run. He skipped by Dermot Geraghty. He was fouled by Pat Hyland. And slowly but surely Ballinrobe are ridding themselves of the nerves. They're beginning to move. The defence looks tight. They're moving the ball quickly. And they're making hay in the sunshine, Billy.
Yeah, they're playing very sensible football, Mike. Everything is moved fast with the boot, and you've seen Sean Grimes there looking up. The space was in the right-hand corner. Keane had left his man. The ball was there before Keane arrived, and that's what's winning it for Ballinrobe. They're playing the ball into space. They're playing the ball into people that's free, and Keane and Morris Horton are shown inside, and they're getting the ball first time.
We've played 21 and a half minutes in the first half, and Morris Horn has this chance to kick his fourth point of the afternoon. Horan from 14 yards out shifts it up and over the bar. He's practiced those ones on the long winter and summer evenings indeed in Limerick. Practice makes perfect. 4 points for Horan. 3 of them have come from frees, and Ballinrobe lead after 21 and a half minutes by 5 points to true. Started very well. We're out of the blocks very quickly, but the scores have dried up. They've gone 15-16 minutes now without a score as Derek Welch kicks top of the toe, old school style, right out the middle. Dave McMonigal breaks it down towards the far side of the field, racing across his Rory Kane, Liam Garvey with him for company. Ball last touch, the Ballinrobe man, line ball to Shrule Glencorrib, down the line to Owen Ronaldson. This man can move. Ronaldson into the centre. He goes long across the field. Colin Killeen read it perfectly, wins it well. Sensible to Fergal Costello. Sean Grimes back to Costello, and Fergal Costello will let the ball do the work to the far side to Adrian Flannery. Runs into 3 Shrule Glencorrib players. Moves that ball quickly though, and Sean Grimes was available 50 yards out. Sean Grimes coming to the centre. That one is heading for Ballandine, I think. It's gone wide. It's gone well wide. Sean Grimes coming through at speed. Tried to steady, but that ball screws off the outside of his right boot. It's gone out to the right and wide, and Sean will have to have a few more pots in that one, Billy.
Yeah, normally he's fairly good at those ones when he comes up the field, but again across the Ballinrobe half-back line, especially Fergal Costello, central half-back, he's picking up loads of ball. He's not afraid to run 30 yards into the centre of the field and lay it off to a man that's free.
I see Kevin Welch warming up over there on the far side in front of the Shrule Glencorrib dugout. Are they thinking about a change? Eugene O'Hare, Sean Finnegan, Eamon Ryan, Frank Mortimer, they just might be, as John Morley tries it in again towards Conor Mortimer. He and Paul Finnerty, they rise together, the ball runs in behind them, and Donald Costello, so experienced, the 30-year-old corner back, lets that ball run, trickle, call it what you like, out over the line. It's gone out to the right and wide, and Paul Tiernan, who has had precious little to do for the last 15 or 16 minutes, is now called into action. He'll have to kick this ball from the edge of the small square, wearing a maroon-coloured jersey this afternoon, just for a change. Ballinrobe lost the toss to keep their jerseys for this county final. They've had to change into a strip of all yellow with a little bit of maroon on the sleeves. Shrule Glencorrib playing in their traditional maroon, white and green colours, as Paul Tiernan, a former Irish dancing world champion, kicks from the edge of the small square, right out the centre. Sean Grimes moves in underneath him, breaks it down to Adrian Flannery. Flannery slipped over, and there to hold his feet and hold his head is Kenny Mortimer. Such a good man in a tight corner. Kenny scoops it up, again looking for Conor, almost in behind. Slipped though, he was nearly clear, and Fergal Costello, that man again, was there to pick up the pieces. Find Peter Staunton, he to Adrian Flannery, and Flannery will carry it deep. Kicks from the halfway line into Micheal Keane, just drifted across in front of Dermot Geraghty. Keane has had his Weetabix. Micheal Keane trying to go inside, now outside, man on his shoulder, it's Adrian Flannery yet again. Flannery trying to run Kenny Mortimer. Still Adrian Flannery. Mortimer forcing him wide. He's in towards the corner flag. Now Tony Walkin. He'll slow it down. Low ball into the centre. Rory Keane slides in acrobatically. He picks it off the ground, says Mel Kenny. Hard to see where that one came from. Billy Fitz is shaking his head. You didn't agree, Billy?
No, I didn't agree with that. No, I think he won that ball very well. He slid into it. The ball was definitely off the ground. Wasn't a free.
So Shrule Glencorrib get the benefit of the doubt, and Derek Welch, who has discarded the baseball cap. The sun has slipped in behind a few clouds. It's still a beautiful afternoon for football, though a little chilly. It's mid-October, remember, and this county intermediate final is just sailing along on the breeze. 25 and a half minutes gone in the first half, and Ballinrobe lead by 5 points to 2 as Derek Welch is free, dropped into the middle, broken down by Colin Killeen and Adrian Flannery. He was born to win breaks, I think. Flannery in over the top towards Morris Horan. It's a race for possession, and Derek Welch, the goalkeeper, came quickly, wins it well, finds Dermot Gerrity. Gerrity soloing towards the far side. Rugby tackled by Rory Keane. Keane will have his name ticked, I think, by Mel Kenny. It's been a good, hard, clean game, though. No cards yet. Very little use for Mel Kenny's little black book, or indeed his pencil for that matter. And Rory Kane's name has been ticked, and Derek Welch, who has conceded just 2 goals in this year's County Intermediate Championship, will take the free from his 21-yard line. Again, he goes top of the toe, stubbed it a little, and Kenny Mortimer had to be alive to the danger to scoop up that ball. Kicks again under pressure. Adrian Flannery was on his boot very quickly, and for that reason the clearance was under pressure. It's gone out over the line on the far side. Ballinrobe's half forward line working like demons, and Colin Jennings will take the line ball. He's standing inside his own 50-yard line. He's an accountant by profession. Jennings up the line, flicked on by Tony Walcott in towards Micheal Keane. Keane did well to win that. He is racing back. Still Micheal Keane, pulled, dragged, fouled. Another free, and I think for one foul too many. Mel Kenny is going to reach for the book. Pat Hyland, in fact, was the player who was caught tugging the jersey. Dermot Gerrity was there as well, and Mel Kenny has shown a yellow card to the Shrule Glencorrib full-back, Pat Hyland. No doubt about it, Billy. Micheal Kane's pace, it's troubling that full-back line.
Yes, indeed, it is, yeah, and maybe they should be making a change at this stage because he's really on the ball. Again, the quality of ball going in is very good. They're letting the ball in front of Micheal Keane. He's getting onto it, he's turning his man, he's going for goal, he's going in straight lines, running at the defence, getting the frees.
And that free that Billy spoke of is now about to be taken by Morris Horan. He's been getting plenty of chances to hone his free-taking technique this afternoon. He's kicked 3 points from frees. He's kicked 1 from play. This one a little bit more awkward than the others. It's 30 yards from the Shrule Glencorrib goal. It's slightly to the left of centre. The angle is good. Derek Welch has brought Liam Garvey back onto the line as Horan. The technique doesn't vary, neither does the finish. Beautiful kick, sails right up over the black spot. Well, it's actually the red spot here in Garrymore, but you get the picture. 5 points from Morris Horan. Brings his total in the championship to 3 goals and 38 points. No doubt about where the Ballinrobe version of the Golden Boot is heading this summer. And Ballinrobe lead by 6 points to 2. 2 minutes to the break. A penny for Shrule Glencorrib's thoughts, Billy.
Well, I think their game has gone all astray, really, Mike. You know, that they maybe have had a game plan coming with a short game plan, and it's not working.
Derek Welch has kicked towards the middle of the field. Again, it's broken down. Kenny Mortimer, I think, was fouling. Mel Kenny is calling him across, I think, for a quick word, and maybe it's Sean Grimes he's looking for. But again, there was 2 or 3 players all writing together. Adrian Flannery is in the wars, not for the first time in his football career. A man who has had more than his fair share of trip to the physio down the years, Adrian Flannery, wearing a very heavy knee bandage on that right leg as well. And rumour has it around Ballinrobe it might just be holding his body together, that particular bit of bandage. But Adrian Flannery is up on his feet again. He's fit to resume. It'll take more than 2 or 3 tackles to put that man down, and Adrian Flannery trots back into centre forward, and Sean Grimes will take the free. Again, the sun has broken through the clouds as Trevor Mortimer goes high in his own full back line to win that ball out to Kenny. Kenny to Pat Hyland, and Hyland to Trevor Mortimer once more. Slowly but surely Shrule move forward. David Welch, the wing back, spots his namesake Kieran in space. Kieran Welch coming right through the centre. Sean Grimes tracking back. Fergal Costello comes to meet him. Kieran Welch is in a little bit of a tight corner. Now John Morley. Morley has to push short and rolls it to the far side. Darren Murphy. Murphy faced out by 3 defenders. Now Trevor Mortimer arrives to help. Faced by 4. There has to be somebody loose. It's Kieran Welch. He's through 21 yards out. Kieran Welch kicks high and right footed. It's gone up. It's gone over the bar. Shrule and Corrib have ended that famine that has gone on for some 25 minutes of this game. 25 minutes without a score. Kieran Welsh kicks their third of the afternoon. It's 6 points to 3. It's double scores, and they needed that one, Billy.
They did indeed, but it took about 10 passes to get it, Mike. An awful lot of passes had to be put together before they finally ended up with a man free to get the score. The plan in the first 5 minutes was putting the ball over the top into the space in front of goal. That has dried up, so I'm not doing that now. But that was the one time they got a man in free and he got it and got the point.
We're in stoppage time at the end of the first half. Ballinrobe leads 6-3, but here comes Shrule and Corrib. David Welch down the line, looking for Conor Mortimer, drifting across in front of Paul Finnerty. They're near the corner flag. Conor Mortimer trying to drop the shoulder and cut inside. Still it's Mortimer. Now 3 defenders on his boot. They're sticking on his left. Back to Jesse Martin. Martin kicks under pressure. It's gone up into the air. It's going to be a Gary Owen, Colm Jennings and Owen Ronaldson. They went up together, and Donal, Mossy Costello there to sweep up, find his brother Fergal. Mossy was being fouled. A free out to Ballinrobe. A chance for them to clear their lines. Paul Tiernan will take it as I make it 45 seconds of injury time have now been played at the end of the first half. Tiernan will take the kick from the carpet, so to speak. The area behind his goal is well populated. A crowd 3 and 4 deep in some places. Huge crowd have made the journey to Garrymore. Tiernan takes the kick out towards the far side. Mel Kenny steals a look at his stopwatch, and on we go. Dave McMonigal across to win the kick out. He takes it in his stride, drives it in towards Maurice Horan. Horan out there to win it, out in front of Ronan Welch. He drops the shoulder, heading towards goal. Horan just fends off Welch. Still it's Horan looking for support. It came from Peter Staunton. It was too tight though. A little bit of an over-elaboration from Ballinrobe, and there to win the ball back for Shrule and Corrib was John Morley. The pass into the centre was ambitious, won well though by Kieran Welch. Trevor Mortimer, Pat Hyland back to Trevor, low ball looking for Conor. Paul Finnerty out in front, does well, wins it. The hand pass a little loose, and Colm Jennings lets it run, and Micheal Keane is back there to scoop it up, make some yardage, and then speed it long to Maurice Horan. The Ballinrobe full forward line has come deep. Horan is 55 yards from the Shrule and Corrib goal, holds off Ronan Welch in towards Tony Walkin. Pat Hyland right behind him. Walkin and Hyland very near the sideline. They're gone out over the line. Line ball to Shrule and Corrib. Pat Hyland defending well, cleanly polished, takes the line ball, and that's the side Mel Kenny in the last action of the first half. 32 minutes after it all began, and Ballinrobe bring a 3-point lead to the dressing room. Ballinrobe 6 points, Shrule and Corrib 3 points. Everybody's looking a little bit tired, Billy. It's been a very, very pacey first half. Sorry.
That's why the foul was left out. They got rid of the first one. Is that how we move in? Come on, Ballinrobe. Come on, Rob, now. Keep it up. Face at last now, face and block. Come on, Rob, now, lads. Keep the pressure on. Fight, drink.
Come on, Johnny, keep it up.
Kevin Welch has now come on in place of Matthew Murphy. Kevin Welch in place of Jordan Murphy.
Well done, back, medics, that's it. Well done, specify.
Thanks, Angelina. Welcome back to Gary Moore. 100 seconds of the play in the second half. Change rather up on the scoreboard. Still Ballinrobe 6 points. Shrule and Corrup 3 points. The Shrule and Corrup management though have made one change in the break. Kevin Welsh, the former Mayo minor of 12 months ago, he's come in at half time in place of Matthew Murphy as Eugene O'Hare, Sean Finnegan and their selectors try to spraz things up a little bit, I suppose, in there in front of that Ballinrobe goal. So Kevin Welsh in for Matthew Murphy, and at the moment Ballinrobe have a line ball, or it's a free even down in the left corner, and Morris Horn has come across to have a look at the goalpost. Horn scored of 5 points so far, but in fact Mel Kenny is bringing the ball forward for some descent, and it's been moved in a good healthy 15 at least yards. 15 yards of a bonus there for Morris Horn. The free was about to be taken out near the sideline. Somebody said something they shouldn't, and now Horan has a much easier task to kick Ballinrobe a little further in front. 5 points for Horan so far. This free 25 yards out on the left wing. The ground again falls almost totally silent. It's practically like a golf putt almost. Horan approaches, kicks off the carpet, high right footed up and over the bar, and Morris Horan's free taking has been nothing short this afternoon. Ballinrobe lead by 7 points to 3. That is the start, Billy Fitzpatrick, that Shrule would not have wanted.
It is indeed, and again, Mike, it's inexperience by Shrule. The ball moved forward into a scoring position, which wasn't a scoring position really, but brought forward 20 yards over the bar. 100% record for Morris Horns. Impeccable kick in there today.
Derek Welsh, the Shrule goalkeeper, kicks towards halfway again. Adrian Flannery breaks the ball down, and onto it smartly comes Liam Garvey. Very tidy football, and now Darren Murphy just thought about turning when Fergal Costello arrived. That put paid to that particular option, free to Shrule, down to the far side to Owen Ronaldson, looking lively over there, trying to run Colm Killeen into the middle to John Morley. John Morley under pressure, back to Trevor Mortimer. He's going to kick off the left into the corner, looking for Ronaldson once more. The pass was inch perfect. Still it's Ronaldson, 2 Ballinrobe defenders. Now Darren Murphy. Murphy coming in along the end line, chance of a score. Darren Murphy has fisted it wide. It's gone out to the left and wide on his own side, so to speak. And Darren Murphy, the centre forward, really should have done better. The hard work, the spade work, all done by Owen Ronaldson. Murphy just couldn't finish. It remains 7 points to 3. During the half-time break, we met a few old familiar faces, Billy. I met David Colleran, who's home from the United States, but you met a man who played against you in 1963. I didn't know you were that old.
A few good friends here from Calistrand. We played in the 7s in 63.
Well, those of you who are good at the maths can work out Billy Fitzpatrick's age now, I'm sure. That secret is out of the bag. Colm Killeen in the middle of the field wins it down, flicked on by Micheal Keane, and Morris Horn was almost in. Horan takes man and ball. That's Liam Garvey. Garvey does well. Out to Ronan Welsh, and now Trevor Mortimer. Shrule trying to build once more. Trevor Mortimer hit by Adrian Flannery. Stands still Mortimer. Mortimer skips by the tackle. He's made 10, 15 yards. Long, high in towards Kevin Welsh, but Paul Tiernan waited, kept his eye on it all the way, and now finds Donald Costello. He to Fergal. Fergal Costello, hand pass to Sean Grimes, and that experience has come from playing 3 intermediate finals in the space of 5 years. It's standing to Ballinrobe just now. They had the ball. Morris Horn was about to set off on a run, but there was a foul from Rory Kane a little earlier, free to Shrule and Corrup. Pat Hyland out to Kenny Mortimer. Mortimer always so cool, calm and composed. Finds Ronan Welsh, former county minor and under 21. Chipped into the centre for Kevin Welsh, another county minor and under 21. Welsh trying to jink his way through, has to come infield, fisted to Darren Murphy. Murphy drops the shoulder, he's coming through at mid, finds Kieran Welsh. He's through the ball, says Mel Kenny. He didn't close the fist. Darren Murphy is looking for an explanation. Mel Kenny is giving it to him, and it was a hard one to call, Billy.
Yeah, I think 2 steps, but it was a very close call there because he was given the pass off probably on his 4th step, and it was a hard decision really.
Kieran Welsh was almost in the clear, but Mel Kenny is refereeing this game to the letter of the law, letting it flow, it has to be said, making a good job of it. But on that occasion, he whistled in favour of Ballinrobe. Paul Tiernan's kick is not the finest he's ever struck, and Tony Walkin has to work hard. Looks to have won it fair, but again Mel says he was jersey tugging just there in front of the stand. Free to Shrule and Corrup. Ronan Welsh is roaring instructions. Kenny Mortimer wants anybody to make a run. Paul Finnerty and Conor Mortimer tangling. The defender protesting that he was being fouled. Mel Kenny doesn't agree, and The corner forwards have all the tricks, Billy, I think.
Yeah, that's the corner forwards trade, all right. Just hang in there. Probably deserve the play just about.
Billy Fitzpatrick, not surprisingly, sides with the forward, and Conor Mortimer will take the free. Paul Finnerty's name has been ticked. Mortimer looking at the goalposts. He's 35 yards from the goal, out on the right wing. He hasn't struck it well. It's come off the outside of his boot. Danger for a moment, but only for a moment. It's come off the knuckles of a defender. It's gone out for a 45. And Conor Mortimer, who started this game so brightly with a point from a play, another from a free, the scores have dried up a little, but you cannot give him an inch because he is one man who will take a mile. A 45 then, and the substitute, Kevin Welch, will take it. He's only on the field, 7.5 minutes. Already he's taking 45. That will tell you of his pedigree, of his stature. Welch is also a very accomplished soccer player. Short with the 45 to John Morley. Morley has all the time in the world to kick it up and over the bar. A few minds, I think, just wandered in that Ballinrobe defence for a moment. John Morley was left all alone to come short for that 45 to kick it up and over the bar. That's John Morley's first point of the afternoon. He's the only survivor from Shrule's last appearance in a county intermediate final back in 1989. He kicked his first of 2002. Slack marking, Billy.
Yeah, very poor marking by Ballinrobe. It was on the cards that he was going to look for a free man there, and Ballinrobe very slow to pick it up.
Jim Staunton does well to win the kick-out. Find Tony Walkin down for Micheal Keane. In over his head, and Morris Horan had continued his run. He's got Pat Hyland for company. They switched the marking a little. Horan sells the dummy almost to himself. Horan into the centre. A long, probing pass looking for Peter Staunton, but there in front was David Welch. Read it well, across to snuff out the danger, and Shrule and Carroll have a free. They're beginning to get a foothold. It's Ballinrobe 7 points, Shrule and Carroll 4 points. Ronan Welch fisted away by Colin Jennings. He has these teeth clenched. The fist was closed. The ball has gone out over the line. Line ball to Shrule and Carroll. Just yards away from us here in the stand. Owen Ronaldson leaves it to Kieran Welch. If you wanted the cut and thrust of the championship, we couldn't be much closer. Kieran Welch's ball in towards Conor Mortimer. He and Paul Finnerty rise together. Finnerty breaks it down to Fergal Costello. Costello to Sean Grimes, and Sean Grimes fisted to Rory Kane. Ballinrobe playing possession football, holding on to the Leroy. Kane kick block down. It's worth somewhere anywhere. Peter Staunton, Sean Grimes on the overlap. He's got Kenny Mortimer on the back foot. Sean Grimes kicks high and left footed. It's gone out to the left and wide. Sean Grimes has kicked one off the right, one off the left. Both have gone wide, but by the law of averages, if you keep shooting, one of them just might drop over. I see the Shrule and Carroll dugout has been maximised to the limit. There are roughly 10 or 12 supporters sitting on the roof of the dugout. Every vantage point has been taken here in Gary Morris. Ballinrobe with a free from that kick-out. Adrian Flannery into the corner. Dave McMonigal gets there. He has support in the form of Morris Horan. Still McMonigal. The over-elaboration, though, almost didn't work out. Horan does well to win it back. A very high pass in towards Micheal Keane. Micheal wins it bravely. Still Micheal Keane. Two Shrule defenders snapping at his heels. Back to Walkin. Tony Walkin. That's wonderful football. Tony Walkin rolls back the years. He was an outstanding minor. He's now 29 years of age and he can still kick a score. That's the super point from out here on the left wing. And after 10 minutes of the second half, it's double scores yet again, 8-4.
I think that one could be talked about tonight, Mike. Somewhere in Ballinrobe, that was a marvellous point from Tony Walkin. But great play from Morris Horton and Micheal Keane. They had the patience to build it up and hold on to it and didn't give it at the right time.
Ballinrobe now defending. Colm Jennings out in front, but there was a late tackle from Colm Killeen. It'll be a free when the ball lands. The man who was fouled was Trevor Mortimer, and Shrule and Carroll have a free and a chance to narrow the margin ever so slightly. Just trying to decide at the moment who will take it. It's out on the left wing. The angle is a little bit too tight even for a free taker of the ability of Conor Mortimer, I think, and Kevin Welch, the substitute who came in at the break, is going to go across and have a look at the goalpost. Welch will kick it from the hand. Paul Tiernan has brought just Paul Finnerty back onto the goal line. He kicked from the hand. It's come off the outside of his right boot. It's going to carry. It's gone out over the end line despite the best efforts of Kieran Welch. It's gone out to the right and wide. And with 20 minutes left or thereabouts, Ballinrobe are in the driving seat. They lead by 8 points to 4, and their destiny is now very much in their own hands. That much is very certain, as one of the Shrule players looks as though he has to receive some attention, and unless I'm mistaken, the physio who is applying the attention is none other than James O'Toole, physio to the Mayo Ladies football team this summer. Shrule and Carroll who have put in a huge effort to get to this stage. Everything has been done very professionally. They've really made the headlines during the summer. They're into the playoffs to try and play Division 1 football next season. They've come from Division 4 in the space of 2 years, and they really believe they do click in this final 20 minutes. They'll be worth watching.
Yes, indeed they will, yeah. They just haven't done it so far today, Mike. They have it all year, I suppose. Today is the one big day that they need to do it. They're not doing it. Probably the lack of experience that tells them in big finals like this.
Now Paul Tiernan is getting ready to take this kick out, but he's not kicking it from the position that Mel Kelly is happy with. Mel wants the ball moved back a little. Kevin Welch has received some attention. He is fit to resume, being marked for the record by Donald Costello at this stage in the game. The Shrule Corrup full forward line reading Owen Ronaldson, Conor Mortimer and Kevin Welch. Paul Tiernan kicks to the edge of the small square out towards the centre. Everybody misses it, bar Liam Garvey. Kenny Mortimer stands aside and leaves it to Garvey. He's running towards the far side of the field, short to Kenny Mortimer. Kenny is 70 yards from the Ballinrobe goal. Just drops inside Adrian Flannery. Low ball looking for Welch, but Donald Costello. He's been there, he's done that, and he's certainly got the t-shirt. He was there to win that ball. Finds Sean Grimes, and Grimes will go long. The Mo Girock in towards Micheal Keane. Keane slips, not throw Pat Hyland. Hyland to John Morley. This game of football is literally that. It's flowing from end to end. Trevor Mortimer takes the pass from Kenny. Trevor Mortimer to Darren Murphy. Darren Murphy trying to drop inside. Still Murphy. Kick blocked down superbly by Dave McMonigal, or King as he's known in the dressing room. Out towards the middle of the field, and there to win it is Liam Garvey once more. End to end. It's like a game of ping pong. Ballinrobe lead 8 points to 4 in the county intermediate football final. Ronan Welch right across the field, switching the point of attack. Kevin Welch kicks it high and right-footed, and if Sean Grimes' first half effort ended up in Ballandine, then that one is headed in the same direction. Kevin Welch did not strike it well. He's furious with himself as much as anything. And Shrule Corrup, they're kicking it away, Billy.
Yeah, bad miss there. You know, when they do attack, they need to be getting those scores. That missed a free. Kevin Welch had missed a free before that. There's a ball that there was no pressure on him whatsoever. The Ballinrobe defence were nowhere to be seen. He had all the time in the world. Did very bad with it.
Paul Tiernan's kick is won by Sean Grimes. The former county minor, under-21 and senior, is certainly stepping up this afternoon. Now Jim Staunton, man who played colleges football with Garland. Staunton slips over, won by Kieran Welch, down the line towards Owen Ronaldson. Ronaldson was being tackled and fouled by Colm Jennings, says Mel Kenny. Free Shrule Corrup. They wanted to take it quickly. Now they've decided against it, and it looks as though they're going to try another free taker. Trevor Mortimer is going to kick this one. He's standing just inside the 50-yard line. He's going to go short. Kevin Welch was out in front, but he took his eye off the ball. It comes off his kneecap, and Fergal Costello just taps the ball over the head of Kenny Mortimer, but then does all the good work by giving it away. John Morley standing in the right place at the right time. Morley wins it, pulled and dragged and fouled by Adrian Flannery. It's a free to Shrule Corrup. They'll start all over for what seems like the umpteenth time. Kenny Mortimer, Kieran Welch, Trevor Mortimer into the corner. Colm Keane drifting across. The man they call Crinkler there to win it, and win it well. Now Dave McMonigal, Donald Costello, Peter Staunton, and McMonigal once more, the team captain. He's pulled, dragged, fouled, free out to Ballinrobe. And in those tight corners, Billy, as you said in the first half, you can't buy that kind of experience.
Yeah, they're putting an awful lot of men behind the ball. I see McGonigal back, Tony Walton back, a lot of players back in the danger area when Shrule are attacking. And they're just being crowded out, and they'll try to work the ball through. Maybe if they were slipping the ball over the bar, keep taking the points and keep staying within that goal of Ballinrobe.
We've just passed the three-quarter mark, and here comes Rory Kane. He's through on goal, 21 yards out. Surely fouled. Yes, says Mel Kenny. Dermot Geraghty was all over Rory Kane. Dermot is arguing his case. Rory Kane and Dermot Geraghty, who played minor football for Mayo together in the not-too-distant past, tangling there in front of the goal. Mel Kenny has the arm outstretched. It's another free in. Maurice Horan applauds the industry and the effort of his colleague in that forward line, Rory Kane. And now Horan has this chance to kick his 7th point of the afternoon. 5 frees and 1 from play. That's his contribution in a scoring sense to this match so far. This free is dead straight in front of the goal, 21 yards out, and Maurice Horan shifts it up and over the bar. It was an easy one then, but they all have to be converted. That's 7 points from Maurice Horan, brings his total in the championship to 3 goals and 40 points. And the 27-year-old full forward is enjoying an Indian summer as Ballinrobe make a change. Harry Murphy a man who ironically shares a room in Galway with Kevin Walsh, the Shrule substitute, both in college at NUI Galway, very good friends, and now for the next 15 or 20 minutes they're on opposite sides of the action. Harry Murphy in for Jim Staunton, that's the change. Harry Murphy in at left back, he wins this kick out, finds Sean Grimes. They won county under 16 medals together 6 years ago. Into the corner to Morris Horan. Horan's in front of Pat Hyland. Still it's Horan, so big, strong, powerful. Horan will kick. It's an ambitious one. It's going to drop out to the left and wide. Morris Horan felt like a cut at the goalpost. Ballinrobe 9 points. Shrule Glencorrib 4 points. 12 make that 13 now of this Ballinrobe. 15 out on the field are holders of county intermediate championship medals. 13 of them played on the team which beat Balladreen 2 years ago. This their third final in 5 years as Derek Welsh kicks out the centre, won by Kenny Mortimer. Kenny trying to start another attack in motion, moves it sideways, a lateral move so to speak, and Liam Garvey makes a few yards with Ching McMonigal in to block it down. Kieran Welsh scoops up the break. Welsh to Garvey, Garvey to John Morley, and John Morley will have to start as he's chased and hunted down by 3 Ballinrobe men. Morley does well to find Kevin Welch inside to Trevor Mortimer. First chance for Mortimer to open his shoulders. He buys Sean Grimes. Still it's Trevor Mortimer, 14 yards out. Can't get the pass in. Play on, says Mel Kelly. The sheer weight of numbers. There were 5 Ballinrobe men around Trevor Mortimer. He was going nowhere fast. Adrian Flannery moves it quickly in towards Micheal Keane. Broken down in towards himself, but John Morley, who's working harder than most out there, wins the ball, wins the free. Morley is giving everything. He's taken the free quickly down to Trevor Mortimer, 50 yards out. He's kicked a diagonal ball, a huge pass towards Connor. Connor tried to flick it down to himself, but Fergal Costello too long in the tooth for that one. He to Paul Finnerty, Finnerty to Walkin, and Tony Walkin tries at 50 yards, flicked on by Rory Kane. Kane towards Morris Horan, but Pat Hyland was there in front, does well, tidily moved to Liam Garvey, John Morley, Kenny Mortimer, and it's all hand pass, and it's all moving very quickly. Kenny Mortimer now injects some length into the move, down in the corner to Connor Mortimer, faced out by Paul Finnerty, tries to cut inside. Finnerty stands his ground. Mortimer kicks from out near the line. It's high, it's dangerous. Paul Tiernan takes a wonderful catch. There's no better in the business under the high ball than Paul Tiernan. He went up, he made it his, he wins the free. A chance for Ballinrobe to clear their line. And this defensive performance, Billy, certainly for the last 49, 50 minutes, has been nothing short of exceptional.
That was a massive catch by Paul Tiernan. Such a catch. Real pressure on him. Two back and a forward, went up for Tiernan, came out, made that ball his own, got the free out. Great save.
Just to put the Ballinrobe defensive effort into perspective, they've held Shrule so far to 4 points. Shrule have averaged in and around 2:13 a game in this championship, as Micheal Keane has been fouled down in front of the Shrule Glencorrib goal. Micheal Keane is like a ferret in full flight, so difficult to get a handle on, and Dermot Geraghty will sleep soundly tonight, I think. He's been chasing Micheal Keane since this game started. You would not wish that on anyone, and Keane has won a free, and Morris Horan has the relatively simple task of tapping it over the bar. We're a little over 10 minutes from home. We've played 20 minutes in the second half, and Horan has this chance to kick his 8th point of the afternoon. Ballinrobe have kicked 9. If Horan knocks this one over, he'll have 8 from 10. Derek Welsh has brought a few reinforcements back out of the goal line as Horan chips it up and over. He makes it look very easy, and in a lot of cases today they have been easy frees. Micheal Keane and Horan himself are doing all the hard work, winning the frees. It's Ballinrobe 10 points. It's Shrule Glencorrib 4 points. Just mentioning, Billy, there's the statistics. Shrule Glencorrib have averaged 2:13 a game in this championship. They've scored 4 points so far. I think that puts the defensive effort into perspective.
It does indeed, and today was the day to do it, and they're just not playing as a team at all today. But it's an amazing thing when you look at the score sheet, and Micheal Keane hasn't got on the scoring board yet, and he could be man of the match.
Billy Fitzpatrick hinting at his man of the match selection there, maybe as Ballinrobe come forward. Tony Walkin, Dave McMonigal, and now Colin Killeen heading towards the right wing. Killeen's going to kick towards the goal, a dangerous one into the chest though of Derek Welsh. Kept his eye on it all the way, moved short to Dermot Geraghty, and Dermot Geraghty was solo right up the centre. Forced back though by Adrian Flannery. Now past Flannery, past Micheal Keane, past Rory Kane. That's a wonderful run from Dermot Geraghty. Darren Murphy, Kenny Mortimer, and still the Ballinrobe defensive effort means that Mortimer's under pressure. He's made 20 to 25 yards, ankle tapped and fouled. He had to work so hard though for those yards. They're what they call in rugby, I think, the hard yard. And Kenny Mortimer picks himself up, leaves the ball to Trevor, and Trevor Mortimer will take the free. My stopwatch makes it 8.5 minutes of normal time left in the county intermediate football final. Ballinrobe 10 points, Shrule 4 as Fergal Costello comes out to win that ball. Fergal Costello has been nothing short of immense this afternoon. Now Peter Staunton down the line to Rory Keane. Ballinrobe are working, throwing everything forward. Keane under pressure. The ball last touch Liam Garvey, says the linesman Vinnie Neary. The line ball to Ballinrobe, a chance for them to move forward. Dave McMonigal just trotting up the field, so too Harry Murphy, Adrian Flannery dropping men in behind that ball, and the line ball itself will be taken by Sean Grimes. Grimes looking, waiting, now he drops it in around the parish. Morris Horan is going to rise, got a flick, but Derek Welch was there on the goal line. Horan had goal on his mind. Welch does well, alive to the danger. David Welch to the far side, and now Darren Murphy wearing 11, but now back in his own left corner of the defence. Darren Murphy was fouled, hit once, then twice. He wins the free. He wants to take it quickly. Mel Kenny wants to move him back a few yards. We're into the final stretch, and our Ballinrobe set to win their third ever county intermediate football championship. They were champions in 79. They were champions in 2000. Or have Shrule Glencorrib got a kick left to get themselves back into this game? A goal for Shrule would throw everything back into the melter. They have never won the county intermediate title. This is the first appearance in a county intermediate final as Shrule Glencorrib. Lost the final in 88 as Shrule to Castlebar, or to Hollymount rather. Lost another one to Castlebar. Two-time losers in county intermediate finals, looking to make the breakthrough and continue the great strides of the club. Kenny Mortimer making some strides of his own. Now Trevor Mortimer, the pass is over, hit, but Darren Murphy was taken out by a third-man tackle, I think. Mel Kenny spotted it. Ballinrobe have to get back and try and cover it. The free is quickly taken. Paul Tiernan comes from his line, wins the ball, wins the free. Paul Tiernan has earned his bowl of soup and a sandwich this evening. Of that there's very, very little doubt. Actually 12-1 with the bookmakers to get a score. He mightn't score, Billy Fitzpatrick, but he's not been bad.
No, he's not been bad.
Billy Fitzpatrick is lost for words, I think. So 6 minutes of normal time left, and Paul Tiernan will kick from out around the penalty spot. He's going to drop it right out the middle. McMonigal is moving in underneath it. Up he went, broken down to Fergal Costello. This man could go on all night. Costello long into the corner. Micheal Keane in front of Dermot Geraghty into the centre, looking for his brother Rory. Down to Horan. Goal on here. Morris Horan. It's rolling. It's rolling. It's a goal. It's a goal for Ballinrobe. Rory Keane will want it. Morris Horan is claiming it. It's hard to call. Billy Fitz is giving it to Morris Horan. A long ball in over the top. It was a race for possession. Horan got it. The faintest of touches to send it rolling towards the line. Rory Keane was in there just to make sure it went over. Horan is claiming it though. That brings his tally in the match to 1 goal and 8 points. He was 5-1 to get the first goal of the game. I know one or two individuals who had a few euros on him. It's Ballinrobe 110. It's Shrule Glencorrib 4 points. And Billy with 6 minutes to go. And it looks as though all that hard work is about to pay off. Now Derek Welch, the Shrule Glencorrib goalkeeper, was injured quite badly in that collision with Morris Horan. Horan went through on that ball. Welch came out. It was 6 of one, half dozen the other. Nobody held back, and Derek Welch has come off by far the worst. He will play no further part in this game. He's just been escorted off the field by the Shrule Glencorrib physio, James O'Toole. He played well this afternoon, unlucky to concede his third goal only of the summer. And in comes the veteran Mike Flynn for his run out in this county final, and he will play the last 3 minutes between the goalposts. Flynn's kick to the centre of the field has been won by Adrian Flannery. Flannery is soloing back towards his own goal, trying to run down the clock. Long ball in towards Morris Horan. He's through again. Can he get another score? Horan kicks off the left. It's gone out to the left and wide. And I know from experience that Morris Horan's 1 goal and 8 points will pale into insignificance tonight when he's reminded of that miss. As you know from your times, Billy, your teammates don't forget the misses.
Yeah, but when you have a county final wrapped up like Morris has today, you can afford those kind of misses at this stage. You know, the pressure was on him today going into today's game to deliver for Ballinrobe. He has delivered, there's no shadow of doubt about that.
1-8 for Morris Horan this afternoon brings his tally in the championship to 4 goals and 41 points. And I'm sure the next Mayo manager may be just looking for his mobile number in the weeks and months ahead, as Shrule have some defending to do. Ronan Welch trying to work that ball up the line. Jesse Martin slid in bravely to win it, wins the free, and he'll take it himself. Shrule and Corrup have managed just 1 point in this second half, and that really underlines how much on top Ballinrobe have been, as Pat Hyland goes back into the corner, bounces off Tony Walkin, drives it up into the air out towards the middle. Dave McMonigal rises, breaks it towards Peter Staunton. In comes Adrian Flannery, the man who would risk life and limb and has in the past. He's fouled the ball, though touched it on the ground. Free out to Shrule and Corrup, and Kenny Mortimer will take it, the two-time All-Star, so experienced. He knows that Shrule need to move that ball quickly. Mel Kenny, though, has pulled the play back. He's going to hop the ball. I think somebody said something, or somebody did something they shouldn't, and it'll be a hot ball. McMonigal and Mortimer, they rose together. Peter Staunton wins the break, chipped short to Micheal Keane. Keane in front of Dermot Geraghty. Back to Peter Staunton, drops the shoulder. Sold a little dummy there to Darren Murphy. Still at Staunton, he's going to drop it in around the house. Moving in underneath it is Rory Keane. Keane got a flick to it, but he directs it only out to the left and wide. He was jumping alongside Liam Garvey. The ball last touched the Ballinrobe man, and 60 seconds left to play. It's all over by the shouting, Billy.
Yeah, it's all over, Mike. It's all over for Shrule. Ballinrobe in total control at this stage. I think Shrule have just thrown in the towel at this stage, and Ballinrobe are now just playing the game out.
So 110 to 4 points. That's the way it stands at the moment. Ballinrobe, who beat Ballaghaderreen convincingly in the 2000 final, they won't be winning by quite as much this afternoon, but they're going to win this one. Of that, there's little doubt now. They're leading by 9 points at the moment, and in a county final, a 9-point lead. Well, there's very little wrong with it. As Colm Killeen goes back to cover, he's been hunted down by 3 Shrule and Corrup men. Still Killeen bottled up. He's barging, says Mel Kenny. It'll be a free to Shrule and Corrup. They want to take it quickly. They have to take it quickly. Trevor Mortimer in towards Connor, but Paul Finnerty was out in front to win that ball. Now Colm Jennings pulled, dragged and fouled. And Fizzy Jennings, well, he'll be happy enough with his afternoon's work, I think. He's played superbly in that full back line alongside Donald Costello and Paul Finnerty. They've done their job. They've restricted that line to just 1 point from play. That came from Conor Mortimer after 3 minutes. And apart from that, they've been, well, exemplary. Paul Tiernan then to take the free. We're into stoppage time at the end of the county intermediate final. And Ballinrobe are about to win their 3rd title. Can they finish with a flourish? Tony Walkin falls over, and Kenny Mortimer, who will try to the bitter end, wins the ball out to this near side to Ronan Welsh, soloing and waiting. Micheal Keane standing his ground, forcing him back. Now Dermot Geraghty. Ballinrobe are working so hard, they will not need the Calpol later on. Kenny Mortimer into the centre to Liam Garvey. Garvey faced out by Peter Staunton, moves it now to Darren Murphy, and now Jesse Martin. Martin into the centre to Trevor Mortimer. Hand pass to Darren Murphy. Murphy past 1 tackle, not the second. The break might fall for Jesse Martin. Now Trevor tries to go through Donald Costello. He's won the free. He's 35 yards out. He goes short. David Welsh is available. Trevor wants it back. He's going to run Donald Costello yet again. Forced out though by Fergal Costello. And Colm Killeen is there to take the ball away. Colm Killeen races downfield, gives it to Adrian Flannery. Ballinrobe are relentless, pushing forward. Flannery's kick half blocked down, and now John Morley. We've played 73 seconds of stoppage time, and Shrule and Corrup have a free on the far side of the field. John Morley's been injured. He's down. He'll have to receive some attention. We'll have another stoppage. Mel Kenny is looking to talk to somebody. It's Adrian Flannery, I think. The challenge was not to the liking of the referee. Adrian Flannery is going to be spoken to, and he's going to get a car, Billy.
Yeah, I think he deserves a car, because I think his style of tackles, Mike, I don't know where he learned that style of tackling. Maybe he played a bit of rugby in his time, did he?
You might be far wrong, as Adrian Flannery is now lying flat on his back. He's just hopped off Liam Garvey. I think they're trying to settle it their own way. Mel Kenny has shown a yellow card. Adrian Flannery's been booked. John Morley is injured. And at the end of all of this, with 32 minutes played in the second half, the play will restart with a free to Shrule and Corrup. In case you've just joined us, you're just tuned in on the internet, you're perhaps listening in hospital, you're at home, you're driving in the car, wherever you are, it's Ballinrobe a goal and 10. It's Shrule and Corrup 4 points. This county intermediate final is winding to a close. Shrule then to take this free. They're just waiting on John Morley to recover sufficiently. Darren Murphy will drop it in towards the mixer, slips through the fingers of Trevor Mortimer, and Fergal Costello, Mr. Dependable, is there to win it and to drive it out to the far side, out over the line. Line ball to Shrule. Anywhere will do. He kicked for touch. Murphy to take the free. Again, it's going to drop in around the square. It bounces. There was some pushing. Well, it's a penalty, I think. There was somebody holding in around the square. Mel Kenny has stretched his arms out. and I think Billy Fitz's given a penalty.
Yeah, I think it's a penalty. I think it's a gift, I suppose you call it at this stage in the game to Shrule Glencorrib. I wasn't watching the play, Mike. I don't know what happened there, but it's a penalty.
I think it was a bit like Ireland-Spain, Niall Quinn. Somebody was holding, I think it was Fergal Costello, because he's just been booked. So penalty to Shrule and a chance for them to gloss the scoreline if nothing else. Kevin Welch, man who scored a penalty for NUI Galway in the Aircom Under-21 Soccer League last weekend, has this chance to go for the penalty spot and narrow the margin to 6. Paul Tiernan standing back on the line. Tiernan conceded 5 goals in the championship. Make that 5 because Welch has taken his point. I think he was looking for the top corner, but it's really been Murphy's Law for Shrule Glencorrib today, and that just underlines it. Kevin Welch's penalty kick goes up and over the bar. Still 5 times Paul Tiernan's been beaten this summer, and it's now Ballinrobe 110, Shrule Glencorrib 5 points, and Shrule Glencorrib will not remember this day fondly, Billy.
No, and you know, in your first county final, those things certainly can happen, Mike, and it has happened to Shrule Glencorrib today. It's all over. As the roar in the background will tell you, Ballinrobe are the county intermediate football champions for 2002. They win their 3rd title in the club.
Can you now win a close local fight?
Ballinrobe the clear winner. And before I go ahead with the presentation, the first presentation that has to be made is to the man of the match. And the man of the match, selected by the press, is Morris Borden. Our last game corner to the chairman of the South Board, representing his prize. By the way, this prize is sponsored by Martin Murphy. He'll be glad to know it's going back to Ballinrobe. Thank you very much, Martin. I want to thank the referee Mel Kelly and his umpires and linesmen for officiating today at our intermediate finals and doing a very efficient and effective job. Thank you very much, Mel, and your umpires and linesmen. And of course, we couldn't let the occasion go without telling Gary Moore again and again that they have the best venue in Mayo. They really turn out the style on a day like this, and to thank Gary Moore sincerely for the great venue and facilities that they have available to us here for county final day. Thank you, Gary Moore. Shrule, I'm sure, will be disappointed with that display today, but I'm sure they'll be back. They have a great underway structure and they have a team coming along. I'm sure Shrule will be back in later days. Ballinrobe, of course, today's Ballinrobe's day, and I congratulate them on a great victory.